very light clap because I have this stupid dog laying here that I don't enjoy.
That's me.
Also, yes, welcome back to the podcast. She is jumpy around loud noises. But who wouldn't be if you survived artillery strikes?
As long as you give me a bone once in a while.
There we go. Cheers to that. So we haven't done an episode in a while because we were sick. I was sick. And then we had to do a 4-day drive across the country from L.A. We did Vegas and then L.A. and then...
Which is a bad route already. It's like
terrible.
from the heart of the American dream through
Which
the
failed.
arteries into a tromb.
Yeah. And then we went to Cleveland. And now here we are.
Which meant the heart stopped.
And it's much better here. Do you remember what happened in Prim?
Oh, I tried to forget.
We won money.
There's no city. Like you say it as if it's a town, but it's just the two competing casinos in front of each other, which are probably owned by one person who died a long
probably
time
Native
ago.
American. Prim is a junction. Prim is just two places, Whiskey Pete's, and we don't have any money because only a few of you have sent us any. Thank you to the two who have, including Corey, my bartender in New York, who I missed
But still,
dearly.
none of us decided to work, so it's been fine.
I'm doing job applications. I'm supposed to have an interview in about a half hour. And then I just went to email him to tell him I'd be a few minutes late because I'm traveling, which is a lie. I'm doing a podcast, which he'll probably find and I'll never get employed again. But I accidentally emailed him through my comedy email address.
Does it have a little signature in the end?
Yeah, it hyperlinks my
Put these
YouTube.
nuts in your mouth with care, Denison Sleeper jokes
it says something
on
about
you.
Israel. And I have a link to my YouTube, to my Instagram, probably to my TikTok, which is the same as the others. So, I mean, I don't even know why I'm going to show up to that one, but I will. We'll
So
do
what
it
about
110. Prim, we won money. We won, walked in. I knew they'd have bad odds because when we walked in, no one had been in there below the age of 30 and or who looked like you since Marilyn Monroe died in a back room. And her corpse was still prettier than anybody who was in there. So they all stared at us and it was very dark. And then we won some money because the odds were bad on the slot machine.
And we weren't actually planning on playing there. I remember we put, like, maybe it was 5 or 20, I think, at the machine that was right next to the exit.
Because I wanted to see...
And it kept us in.
I wanted to see the Bonnie and Clyde exhibit because Prim is in Fallout New Vegas, one of my favorite games of all time. And I said, oh, it'll be like the game. And it kind of looked like the game, which is set after
where everybody
nuclear
lost.
apocalypse. Yeah, and everyone looked like they went through nuclear apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the threatening environment. And then we won, and then we immediately printed the ticket because I was like, that's gas money. And we've probably lost $10,000 over the past 4 months of our lives. So it's an investment.
Yes.
And then I went to...
He was supposed to flip it.
I'm a gambler. And I've realized I'm not good. But I have fun.
It's good you never bet your own money.
I don't know what you mean. It's not your money.
Whose money is it?
That's a great question. More on the next episode.
What is the money?
What is money anyways, other than a physical manifestation of corporate greed, and also what my debt collectors require every month on the 27th and the 2nd. I'm not doing it again. It happens one time. All right.
Hello.
So then I printed it because I wanted the money, and then I was walking to cash it out, but on the way there was another machine, and it was very colorful.
Yes, and broken.
Well, I didn't know until I put the ticket in, and then it immediately broke, and then we went to find help, and then we almost got in a fight with the bartender.
I was really thinking that we might get shot.
I was getting very nervous.
I thought it was a very outlaw country.
Yeah, there's no law there. They're their own law. And they're just the saddest people. It was a horrible place. Prim sucks. Vegas sucks. LA sucks. And we decided what's our next move. Insert town here is about to be based in...
Columbus, Ohio.
Yep. There it is. Insert clap sound. LA, you suck. I hate you so much. You're the fakest place. You're too expensive. It's $7 a gallon of gas. The justifications people have for living there are wild, and the comedians aren't very good. So that's everything I have to say. I'm going to backtrack on that last sentence. You're all very talented, and I suck. But that's a little rant. So I've been doing comedy in Cleveland. I have like 5 shows this month. I'm going to be opening for Chade Arena, 19th and 20th at Hilarities, I think. I have a show at Go Bananas at the end of February because apparently they book way far. and I need to go to Columbus. We need to go to Columbus.
So if you come to meet me at the bar, please do, because comedians do not know how to talk to people who are not comedians. You are not included in this list.
Most of
You
them don't know how to
actually-
talk to women.
Yeah, especially threatening, like I am
Mm-hmm.
with my racial slurs.
Racial slurs and high cheekbones. It's a dangerous combination. You do look like the master race.
I usually just spill whiskey in somebody's face the moment they say hello.
Yeah, you say it's spilling.
If they stay, then we can be friends.
The problem is that you throw it in their face and then you say whoops. But it's very
Oh.
obvious it was deliberate. But nobody knows how to place your accent, so it could be German. So
It
I
could
don't
never
know.
be German.
And
It
there are
could
a lot
have
of
been
Jews
German
here.
if things went south in 1945.
So what'd you think? Well, you're about to be Russian. So Russian these nuts in your mouth, you fucking idiot. So we traveled across the country for 3 months. What do you think? What was your least favorite place? What was your favorite place?
My least favorite place was Los Angeles and is Los Angeles.
Ooh.
Yes. Another least favorite place was a part of Tennessee.
Greenville?
Yes. It was the one place where I was not certain I want to be outside. And also we almost murdered a dog by accident.
We can probably talk about that now. He ate a mushroom.
We never talked about it, did we?
Well, I was reticent because we weren't quite sure where the project's going.
Well, it still wasn't our fault. We saved the fucking thing.
Well, all right. I mean, we're mixed on that. But the point of our project was to do like an extensive documentary. But it was also our first time traveling together and being in a relationship. None of this needs to be failed secrets anymore. So then we spent most of the time hanging out and just visiting places. And then most of the people we met were boring. So, and also I don't know how to produce video well enough. So
He's pretty good.
I'm all right. So then we had fun, and that was about it. But what was the point of this?
The dog.
Oh yeah, so because we kept doing the house sitting thing, we were trying to I wanted to remove it from a pod episode, the specifics. But what happened is Lisa had a big mushroom chocolate bar, and then
There wasn't too many mushrooms in there. I think for the whole bar of chocolate, there was maybe like 3 grams of mushrooms.
Yeah, we watched a family's house that had a bunch of books on the second coming of Trump and how he was prophesized as the next savior of America. So they had some pretty bold opinions on everything. And one of their dogs was completely untrained, and it was an awful dog. Like, it was shitty. And used just shit and pissed in the house every day, and it was tiny doodle
Right after the
thing.
walk.
Yeah, tiny doodle thing. And then it immediately, like within a few seconds of us not looking at him, ripped her backpack off of a thing and then went inside and ate the entirety of a mushroom chocolate bar.
And the worst for me was that there was one full bar, and then I didn't remember how much of the other bar left over. So I was thinking that what if he ate like almost 2 bars of chocolate, because I also couldn't find any foil, so he ingested the foil as well. And our immediate panic, he called the online vet. I called my mother. So,
This is how everything goes.
but the good thing, my mother is a hairdresser, so she knows that
the good thing is my
everybody from
mother is a
politician-
hairdresser.
Well, that's the whole thing. A hairdresser knows all of your secrets, knows every politician you need to know,
Name
knows
one.
all the...
What politician has
Ukrainian.
she helped us out with?
In Ukraine, that's what you do. You call your hairdresser, and then all your problems disappear.
Oh, so she's like a mob hitman?
So my mother gave me a phone number of another vet who is Ukrainian, who
Right.
lives in America, who will keep secrets. So I called the vet too. The vet said that the issue was not the mushroom, the issue was the chocolate itself, because it was raw chocolate and was extremely poisonous for a dog.
Yeah.
So then we tried to make the dog throw up with peroxide
Yeah.
and milk.
which
which-
is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, which
he
two
just-
vets said that you should do that.
We did it 3 times. He just ate all of it.
And then he started feeling really, really happy all of a sudden. I remember I was in the bathroom, I was with the dog, and he was just, because usually he's very active and he doesn't really sit and he's always barking. This was beautiful to see. He was just observing the floor. He was stepping really calmly. Then when he saw the other dogs, he just started hugging all of them. Then I
Yeah.
took him for a walk. I never trip sat a dog.
Yeah.
Or a human for that matter, but
If it wasn't for all the chocolate he ate, like if it was a little bit, I wouldn't have been worried. But then I had a full blown meltdown because
it
we
was
had,
an hour in and he was still not vomiting.
yeah, and we had to decide if we were gonna call the people. I mean, I had no idea what they do. I knew we'd have to spend money on this, and the emergency vets were over an hour away, and they were completely inept. So I had a breakdown because I thought this dog was gonna die, and both of us were under some stress at the time, Lisa in particular, and I thought that this is gonna be what shatters our world. Instead, we drove him an hour and 15 minutes. I sped. We got pulled over by a cop. I flailed my hands around because I'm a white man, and told the other white police officer what was happening. He immediately let us off. I continued going.
No,
100
he
miles
actually
an
gave
hour.
advice. He's like, "How big is the dog?" That was his answer. We're like, "Sorry, the dog is dying. He ate chocolate." How much chocolate?
Yeah.
Like that's, my dog ate chocolate too.
Yeah.
You go, sir.
So yeah, I continued speeding. And
For a
didn't
second
get
there, I
shot.
thought he's gonna chaperone us.
Oh yeah, I kind of was hoping. He didn't seem like he had a lot to do that day, but I think he saw the confidence in my eyes, and so I continued. And then we spent 3 hours there. Then they tried to charge $1,800 to keep him overnight, which I wasn't going to do at that point. We said he's vomited enough. And then the people they were very kind. They were very chill. And
Yeah,
it just goes to show, just because you're insane doesn't mean you don't have humanity inside of you.
that's right.
So
That's exactly what we learned from all this.
yeah. What did you take away from the trip?
That I don't think I should buy the mushroom chocolates again.
That was the entirety of what you learned?
Yeah.
Okay. There you are, folks. Don't buy mushroom chocolates. And don't have high expectations for what you'll learn on a 4-month road trip, apparently.
No, I meant this particular situation.
No, the whole trip.
Oh, the whole trip? God. Well, I learned a lot about our inner worlds and how they intersect and how they can operate together without colliding and exploding. Put this in your mouth.
My asshole's been so itchy for the whole time, and then I had to order a specific cream called like Prenacure or something. And when I've been doing all this research, because I went to see this doctor recently for just like the checkup thing, because I haven't had health insurance in a while. But then he was a resident, and I didn't feel comfortable bringing it up. And I also thought like it's one of those things that you just assume you should be able to get over naturally. But then we looked it up, and
After 2 years.
Yeah, well, I've been struggling with it because for a long time I thought it was a moisture issue. Either I needed more lotion or I needed to like be drier. And then, but when you look it up, there's only the same 4 things they rotate. The first one's always like cleanliness and detergent and stuff. That's never been an issue. It's wild to me how many things you read about people who don't know how to wipe their own ass. It's honestly crazy. I don't know where your fathers were in your lives, or maybe they were too much there. I don't know which one it is, but getting a little too close.
Oh.
But then after that, it's hemorrhoids. But hemorrhoids are also associated with pain and bleeding, and I don't have that. I just have itching on the outside on the rim, but it's really bad itching. Then it goes to pinworms. And I don't wash my hands a lot. So I feel like it could be, because I hate washing my hands. I do it with you when I pet dogs, because you're so allergic. But prior to that, like all COVID, I didn't wash my hands.
I
And I've
wouldn't
had
mind
COVID
if
like
you
3
wash your
times.
hands after you dig into your asshole too.
Well, I mean,
It's fine.
not dirty.
Fine with me.
But then, anyways, so the pinworm thing, I got a little nervous about. But then it was like, it's hard to diagnose. They just give you worms.
And at some point they pick it up straight from your eye. Have you seen those awful videos
Yeah,
where
but that's a
people
different type of worm.
get worms and
Yeah.
then they just like nest inside of their eye, or they pull them out of the nail or something? You just crawl all over your body, rolled into, like, there was one worm I saw that was, I think it was like over a meter long. Tropical vacations.
Yeah,
Am I right?
which is why I don't leave the U.S. Exclusively for worm reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of the botfly videos where, they lay eggs in your skin and
Yes.
then they hatch out of there. But so then the last one is just like a syndrome that's basically just called itchy asshole syndrome. And it's just something you have forever. And so there's this cream made specifically for this disorder, and I bought it. I'm hoping for relief because I've been applying the Preparation H stuff.
I mean, I hope some people who hear this can recommend.
We haven't put out an episode in so long. I think we've lost every listener we've ever
And
had.
after this story, we will lose the remaining
we're gonna get
ones.
it back. Plus, we have a sponsor now, but more info on that to come. But there's a new segment that I'm really excited to do because now Insert Town here is basically going to be Insert Columbus here for quite a while. Right now it's Insert Cleveland here.
Yes.
But one thing I'm really excited about is the subreddit Our Relationships. If you're familiar with Reddit, which most people are, it's a massive website. There's dedicated subreddits, which are basically forums, where the saddest people on Earth can post the dumbest questions. It's like Quora with more agency.
It just always blows my mind how much of an insecure thinker you should be in order to not know where you stand on some issues. And I'm not even talking religious, political, philosophical issues. No, it's just my boyfriend cheated on me 10,000 times. Do you think it's a bad sign for a relationship?
Yeah. People have, and it's also because they probably asked their friends and family, and they're all like, "You're an idiot." They were like, "Well, let me ask strangers on the internet."
Because their opinion is more valuable than mine. I mean, how sad is this? That you can place an opinion of a stranger over your own experience. Like, your opinion is based on your experience. Like, how can it be less valuable than somebody else's?
People are wildly insecure, like you said, and they're terrified of being alone, and they don't cultivate personalities. I think most people have such a hard time developing any sort of personality because I have to click on some of these people's. You can see like where else they post, which is when I went down that big rabbit hole of the people that think that lizard people are real and that they're the gang stalking subreddit, which is just sad, and they all post in the schizophrenia subreddit too. What a coincidence. But a lot of these people, their whole personality is like just video games, fantasy stuff, like TV shows. They don't cultivate anything. I think they work jobs they hate, and then they come home, they do nothing, they don't exercise, and so you just get in a relationship because you don't leave, you don't travel, you do nothing with your life. And we never would have met if it wasn't for me doing some crazy comedy tour within a year of me basically starting comedy. And if Vladimir Putin didn't bomb your country, we wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Yeah,
He keeps on bombing. That's crazy.
Keeps on bombing, huh? Yeah. You're a real piece of shit. Decided I don't like Russians. So if you're a Russian fan, you don't have to listen.
You know, the other day, an old acquaintance from Moscow, even though I think she's from Kazakhstan originally, but she lived in Moscow when we met years ago. We met in Athens, Greece. We kind of hung out for a bit. And so she reached out, I believe, for reasons of like finding out what I'm busy with as to how can I help her. But the weirdest thing, like one of the maybe like fifth message in, unrelated to anything I was saying, she goes like, "Yep, Europe is a shithole, hate America. Russia is the only good place to be right now." I did not address it, but I just thought how remarkably odd and unaware it is. Like, was it, I thought that she's probably too dumb to use it as a provocation. Is it the American word?
Yeah.
There I am.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
I mean, obviously very tone deaf. I mean, people are just, obviously she's dumb. I got into it. I had that, I did a brief spot in this little show. You weren't there that night, thankfully.
After the horrific open mic that I was in.
Oh, yeah. We went to the worst open mic I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of bad open mics on the east side of Cleveland. It was 3 hours long. It was horrific.
One guy brought out a boombox.
Yeah, JB the Smile Master or something. I mean, you're a nice guy. I'm sorry if you hear this, but come on, dude. It's an open mic. And then, but at the Judd's show, I have that bit I begin about my girlfriend being Ukrainian. I was also drunk that night. It was also kind of on me. I was very loose and nervous because I hadn't performed in a while. But as I started saying it, some guy booed, and he was very fat. And after he booed, I was like, what? They called him out, and then he said something about, like, they lied. And I was like, the only people who lie to you are the people who count the calories at the McDonald's menu. And then everyone went, oh, but they got nervous because I think he was also from the hood. And then I was kind of worried he was going to shoot me. But I stood my ground. And then, as I told you, I had one of those paranoid moments as I do where I was like, I'm wearing my Timberlands. I don't fight well. My Timberlands are very heavy. I can't throw a kick very well. And he's really big. So if he grabs me, I'm on the ground. I'm going to have trouble. So I got to make sure if I hit him, like, I got to get distance.
And the guy probably got so sad that
he did.
ran.
He left a little bit later and just kept his head down. And then I felt really bad. But then I didn't feel bad because I was like, you said something dumb. You deserve to hear. People in this, you know my feelings on this. We differ sometimes, but my belief is that people don't get put in check. And I've been put in check a lot in my life, and I've always appreciated it. But people at this point just seem to feel like they can say anything they want, whether that's the internet or in person, and they're used to never being called out. And I always call people out because I don't care. And it makes, I do care. It's the opposite. I want you to know you're wrong. I want you to know that you're being a bad human in the moment. And you deserve that, whether that's a verbal slap or a little slap, little Sean Connery slap. I got to make that, I got to fix our audio bit so that we can say slap.
Well, we actually do differ on this occasionally because I always think that if somebody is being aggressive or unreasonable in the moment, then it's not actually my job to try to show this person how to live their life. Yeah, it's
my job. Also, this is an XL. I've become so muscular since we've been stable again. I managed to lose a few pounds of fat and gain muscle. And I had to go up in pant size, so please send money.
Stop!
My coat's too small. I'm super jacked right now, aren't I?
Yes.
Why don't you just respond faster to that?
You're very jacked.
I'm very jacked right now. A tiny bit bloated, but not fat. So I think when we met in April, I weighed 153 pounds, maybe 149.
Now I weighed this.
Yeah, because it was tour, because you lifted with me too. And now I weigh 170 pounds.
That's awesome.
And I'm fucking huge.
You are.
Yeah, this is great. All right, so Reddit relationships. I've had a field day with this today. This seriously makes my day. So I'm going to start with the worst one I found today, and I'm excited about this. And you haven't heard any of these, so let's just jump right into these, okay? All right.
Fine.
Here's the title. Caught my, she's a 31-year-old female, husband, 33-year-old male,
Ooh.
Reasonable age gap, making AI images of his deceased ex. All right.
Oh, man. Deceased ex-girlfriend or wife?
Girlfriend, and this is so... My husband and I have been together for 4 years, and we got married last year. When we first started going out, he told me about his ex-girlfriend when he was, guess the age?
16.
18. So 15 years ago for him, and how she committed suicide after threatening to do so if he broke up with her. He said their relationship was very toxic, and they were also struggling with alcoholism at 18. All right, we're gonna move.
Are they from
down.
Cleveland?
Probably from Youngstown. Ugh. All right, so. She felt insecure because he kept saying there was a literal ghost sometimes hanging over us. I'm going to emphasize the word literal. Just little random anecdotes. 1, we'd be at a bakery, and he'd comment how she used to eat a bunch of croissants, then purge due to her eating disorder.
Bulimic bitch.
We'd be at the beach, and he blurted out how she had an Audi belly button.
What's that?
When your belly button doesn't stick in.
Why do they call it Audi?
Because it's out.
I heard Audi like the car.
Yeah, because it's rare in German. All right. It was almost like his intrusive thoughts had absolutely no filter. This is all long paragraphs, so we're going to have to keep skipping and skipping. So he goes to therapy, and it seems like things are better for a while. Recently, he's been into making images on Midjourney. And he was having a lot of fun with the face swap feature. None of this sounds like a red flag at all. He would send me funny images of one of us face swapped onto something else. He did his face on Gimli and mine on Legolas. This is just a quirky couple. All right, it keeps going on and blah, 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 blah. I asked him if I could try, and I got a funny feeling from how much he was hovering over me when I used his computer. I snooped when he was in the shower. You can see the person's gallery of images.
What a snoopy bitch.
And I began to see many images of his ex. Not like real photos of her, but like he had face swapped her onto other people doing seemingly normal things. Like just selfies or whatever. Nothing explicit. Still, though. I confronted him. I panicked. He panicked. It was a morbid curiosity. He said a lot of horrible stuff. I'm not surprised. So she leaves. She goes to her parents' house. Good call. He swears he's still not in love with her or anything. It's been 15 years.
And she's dead, too.
She's very dead. She killed herself. She's very dead. And she's going to go see a therapist. And she doesn't know if she just needs some advice, but she's been going a little nuts with this. And she could use a little help. So
what are the most like comments?
there's a way too long paragraph about someone being like, this is a high level trauma and complex thing. And then at some point I'm down here and I think I say, you're a no, we're going to, I cannot even imagine how insecure and emotionally childish you have to be. This is what a serial killer does. Soon he's going to make a face of her in a 3D printer and have you wear it during sex.
Yes.
Would you ever have sex with somebody who wore a fake mask of somebody else's face?
No.
What if I wore... Whose face would I wear?
I don't want you to wear anybody else's face.
Gimli or Legolas?
I don't even know who it is.
Legolas is the elf, Orlando Bloom in Lord of the Rings.
Okay, and what's the first?
Gimli's a dwarf.
Whoa. Okay.
All right. So
I mean, if I were her...
Yeah, what would you do, actually? And what would be your advice to her? Because we will be posting these clips into
I'll
these
make
subreddits.
really bad pictures with both mine and the ex's face
I would
in one.
definitely, if I was the woman, I would face swap myself into gangbangs and just have those spread about the house.
Yeah,
It'd be like
I'll
morbid
make
curiosity.
one where I piss on the ex-girlfriend's face.
So your idea would just be to make a bunch of images of you
I'll just humiliate
abusing and
her
bullying
in the
her.
AI world. That's what I'll do.
Even after death, she killed herself once,
Yeah.
and now you're going to make her kill herself again.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. You could do one of like that Abu Ghraib image where
And
they
it will
have,
not be just private. It will be like in front of many people.
You could have some of real images of like a girl covering herself from bullies, and it's you being the bully, and it's her face, and then you put a speech bubble that says, "I'm going to kill myself." So we're going to post this in the thread. I hope we get followers from this. Okay. Here's a good one. Maybe this one will be good for you. You never dated a married person, did you?
No.
Okay. That's good. That was a
Slept
test.
with one. Accidentally.
Terrible thing to do. All right.
I didn't know.
How to unlove a complicated or married man. That's a good beginning. I'm struggling with my feelings. I've developed emotions for a married man, and I'm finding it difficult to stop. I'm a 26-year-old female, and he's 43. With
Who can blame her?
I mean, all the age gap things never work, and everyone thinks they're creepy, unequivocally. But moving on. With 6 kids from 4 different women. He's 43. He has 6 kids
Champion.
from 4 different women. His families are aware of this situation.
All of them?
And he claims to have managed to be a good dad to his kids. That's a lie.
He's a daddy.
That's a lie. He's dad to 6 kids by 4 moms. What a good guy. Can you please help me? I desperately need advice on what to do. I truly care for him. But I also acknowledge the wrong in his actions, as he wouldn't have multiple families if he was responsible, right? We work together. Oh, okay. So he's 43, probably a manager. I'm going to guess this is at an Applebee's.
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
a
guess
call center or
he's
something.
a manager at an Applebee's, and she is a waitress. I'm not going to... You know what? I'm going to skip what I was about to say, and we're going to move on from that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm going to guess this is an Applebee's relationship somewhere in the Midwest. I don't want to leave my job just because of my feelings. Who wouldn't? Applebee's is a great place to work.
Great
when you're here, your
benefits.
family. Great benefits. What should be my first step? I urgently need your guidance, guys. All right, so let's see the first one. All right, that's pretty good. Mate, I've only read the first 4 lines. He's married with 6 kids from 4 different women. How many red flags do you need? Next one. Language is the next one. Am I allowed to say that word anymore? Yeah.
You should. I encourage it.
Okay. And then you have paragraphs of people who I don't know why anyone... You're an idiot. But I understand how tough it is when you grow up in Missouri. So that's my assumption is you work at a Missouri truck stop Applebee's. And this is just a type of white trash.
I still haven't been to Applebee's.
I haven't taken you to any of the main chain ones, have I?
Yeah, we only go to good places.
Well, we tried to go to IHOP, but it shut down and was replaced by some...
Mexican casita.
Yeah, but not the good. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, go to the actual Mexican restaurants. If your sign is in like hip black and brown and your tacos are like 15 for 3, it's always dog shit food. The point of Mexican food is that it's plentiful, cheesy, saucy, spicy, and it's cheap.
Yeah, and it's unhealthy. Like, I don't like healthy taco places.
It's dog shit.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, so what are the...
What's your advice to the 26-year-old woman who's dating a 43-year-old, disgusting age gap? He's very immature, and he has 6 kids from 4 different women, and they probably work together in an Applebee's.
I like how
and he has a position of power because...
I will kind of ramble over the previous comment, you know, when she asked, like, how many red flags do you need? Yeah. I say wait for the 7th one.
Which would be the kid he has with her.
Yes.
And then
leaves her.
Yes. Well, you know what I'm going to say to her? I think you're the one who's going to fix him. I'm going to put this in
Nobody
this
could, but you can.
You can. I think the first 4 women and 6 kids, those are practice rounds.
He's probably under a lot of pressure. He just needs a strong woman next to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the GM of Missouri Regional Applebee's breathing down his neck. It's a tough economy. He's trying to push apps and zerts left and right. He's got promotional deals he's got to hit, menu redesigns, the microwavable meals. Needs another microwave.
Got to jerk off in the kitchen.
Got to jerk off in the kitchen. Has a meth problem, probably a nitrous problem. He certainly got an alimony problem.
Killed a dog recently.
Killed a dog recently. It was one of his kids' dogs because he was acting up. And that's what you get for not going to basketball practice, Jaden. Why don't you develop a better jump shot?
Okay.
So anyways, that's our advice.
All right. It makes me sad. I
think
feel
it's
that I can't really... I'm not in a position to give advice to these people.
Why is that?
I don't have a frame of reference of this kind of life.
Well, we'll go to Applebee's.
Okay. Expertise is everything, you know.
Here's the last one. This one went so crazy that the post got locked, meaning people had to stop commenting because I think this is one of those very obvious ones. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to read a lot of this one because this man is an idiot, which is the word I'm going to start splicing over the other word I was using because it's insensitive. My girlfriend, a 30-year-old female, is upset at me, a 32-year-old male. That's what the sounds fire makes. I know it's behind times where you're from, but...
No, it's just little tiny firecrackers falling out of the fireplace.
That's what happens when wood gets hot. All right, so...
Maybe I should write to Reddit and look for red flags.
She doesn't want to have internet or Wi-Fi at the house.
His girlfriend?
That's the title.
Okay.
We have lived together for over a year, and we have our good times and our bad times. I also want to say everyone who writes in this thing has no idea how to write an interesting paragraph or be succinct.
When the internet goes down, that's the bad time.
And lately, it's been rough. She's gone from the house all the time. She never shares where she is or where she's going. She spends time with me less and less. I've talked to her about this and how I feel need for more time to no avail. That's a good sign. When we moved in the house and used to live together, she told me she didn't want to have internet, Wi-Fi, a TV, or a computer.
She's a Mormon.
All things I enjoy and I used to love were hobbies like playing my PS5, my PC, watching sports. But it was very important to her, and I agreed I'll sell my things, earn some extra money, and focus on her and her hobbies. You're a cuck. She much prefers...
What are her hobbies?
She much prefers board games, time in nature, etc. I don't know what you meant by etc. because you listed 2 things. It sounds like what she enjoys is board games and time in nature, which is vague. Because I like time in nature, but yeah, what are you there for 5 hours after work? And what's nature? It's a park. Most of these people don't live by the woods. It's just the park down the street.
Once I Googled when I just got to the United States, I wanted to find a park right next to my house in LA.
You lived in Brentwood.
No, at first I lived in the valley. Yeah. But you walk through just private houses, you reach the park, and there's barely grass. There's 3 trees and 1 bench and 6 people with 5 dogs.
Yeah, but you get to pursue your dreams in LA where it's $7 for a gallon of gas.
Yes.
All right, so over time, she's found new hobbies. Things to do outside of us, and has left me quite alone a lot. Sometimes she's gone for 5 to 10 hours per day. I think her hobby is getting banged. The short of it is, I'm bored with nothing to do other than things I'm not really interested in. I don't want to go out, but I don't want to be stuck here. I don't even know what he has to do. He says chores, be on his phone, or sleep. This is like an abused child. I told her I wanted to get back in it.
Maybe he's got a chain there, too.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those relationships in a chastity cage. If you wear a chastity cage, DM us. I told her I wanted to get back into gaming, a TV, PS5, and the internet, and she blew up and was pissed. Also, you don't know how to write. Pick blew up or pissed. Yelled at me and refused to talk to me about it. Then she left the house and was gone for 8 hours, and I was bored again. Well, today's the following day, and I told her what I purchased and to be clear about it and did not hide it. And she got angry. Said I knew having internet was a deal breaker and I did it anyways, and did some other hurtful things and then asked me to leave.
What are the other hurtful things?
He's obviously hiding the worst things that are happening because all of these people are in so deep with these horrific relationships that they have to still, to strangers on the internet, phrase it in a way that they're hiding some stuff, but it's still horrific. If he added the other stuff, everyone would be like, you're flat out in an abusive relationship. I'm sure I could have communicated this better.
He still blames himself.
But I just want to know if I can save this somehow. And still have something to do like game or watch some TV, even if only while she's gone.
Poor guy. Did anyone suggest a book in the comments?
Like read a book?
Sneaking literature.
Yeah, fortunately most of these people are like, she's horrible. But still, these people are never nuanced, and it just absolutely blows my mind. So, yeah, she just trapped him. He's in a little cage. All right, so what's the advice that we should give to this guy who has no idea how the world works?
I suggest he doesn't have friends neither.
That is sad. It doesn't sound like he has friends.
Very codependent.
Yeah, he should probably try to make some friends. Make some friends. What local hobby should a young man join if he wants to make friends?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Not a bad idea.
He can bring her too. That's actually a good way to spend time. It's out of the house. It's a board game that she prefers. Kind of in nature, this dreamy forest that the thing takes place, and then they actually interact with people. But I don't think she would like to do that. I'm pretty sure she has her own social circle, and that's where she disappears.
Oh, I found another comment regarding that. So
that's her.
Somebody asks, yeah. So you ask her, does she tell you what her plans are, or keep in touch? Why are you never invited? Thanks for asking. Yeah, she tells me sometimes, and sometimes no. She has a weekly board game night, getting banged. She plays some athletic events, getting banged. But she also does things and is sometimes out pretty late with no willingness to share anything about it. She's told me she's not a cheater. Would never cheat, etc. This guy loves the use of etc. and doesn't quite understand what it means. And I do genuinely believe her. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'd have some jealousy about who or what she's spending time with if she was open and willing to share. So there you go. My advice is stick in the relationship and give it a second try. I think instead of just the no internet Wi-Fi, you should also not have a phone.
Or a job.
And you should just meditate.
Yes.
I think you should practice monk-like peace and acceptance and transcendental meditation.
And that way he can justify a cock cage.
A cock cage, yes. Because that way, when you can't touch yourself...
That way he's not a pussy, but
right.
He's elevated spiritually.
Well, I was going to say, what's it called again when you can remove yourself from your body?
Samadhi.
No, that's an Indian dish. The thing that
Nirvana?
an American would call it. No, it's the thing people... Astral projection. You can astral project out of your chastity cage, and then you can masturbate. Or spend time with somebody who cares about you.
Yes.
So,
made me sad. This story actually made me sad.
Yeah, it's crazy how these
also
people justify stuff,
Also because of the use of words he chose. Yeah, very limited. I love how... I don't love it. It again makes me sad that he said that it's not the fact that she goes out and bangs people, but that she doesn't share. Like, I'm pretty sure she could come back home and say, yeah, I banged 1,000 people right now. And he's like, oh, I'm so glad you shared. That's what he's going to say.
Yeah, he'd be like, thank you for being open.
Mm-hmm.
For hanging out with... I can't. I had another good bit, but I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to clean things up as I'm shopping my book around, my short stories.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, if anyone has an agent, most of what we say on the podcast, as we remind people, is hyperbole because it's fun. But my book is pretty sincere and has a lot of strong characters of all races, genders,
strong opinions on Jews.
As always. That's the name of the book. And now I'm never going to get published. The book is called Commune, and hopefully we'll see it on the shelves by spring. But we will see, because I also have no money. I am going to respond to this guy. What we're going to start doing is under a Reddit username of Insert Town Here, we will be splicing these clips, so I'll get them done today. And then I'm going to post them, and I think we're going to get canceled. But
by whom? By them? They don't even have phones.
Yes, he doesn't have the internet, so he's never going to see this shit. And you know what? If you don't like it, I'm shredded right now. I'm stronger than you, and I'll beat you up.
That's right.
And she knows it because I'm pent up recently. I've actually been a lot calmer, I think, recently.
You were calmer. I think being home makes you feel better, even though a lot of things at home don't.
It's a mixed match. It's nice not having my parents here, which is not their fault. It's their home. They're allowed to be here. But obviously at 32, you don't want to be, in your parents' home making love quietly. You want to be making...
I want to make...
gorilla sounds in front of the dog.
I want to break beds and make holes in the walls.
We're watching Mad Men, which is my favorite show of all time, and you've been enjoying it.
I have been enjoying it a lot.
And I've been playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, which is amazing. I put it off because I was traveling for a whole year. But I would say it's my second favorite game of all time. It goes, the triumvirate is Ocarina of Time. You know what? It's 4 that kind of go in the mix. It'd be Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Fallout New Vegas, and Resident Evil 4. And I've beaten Resident Evil 4, the original version, like 5 or 6 times. So I'm on the way to beating it. This one I have some qualms with. I think the stealth sections are unnecessary, but I get why they put them in thematically. And I think they probably should have put them in the original.
So soon you can look up under Reddit relationship advice, Dennison's post, after I forbid him to have internet. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to being objectified. Because 2024 is the year of the woman, and I'm gonna crawl around on all fours, and
backwards, like a crab.
I'm gonna crab walk consistently. I remember there was this story. There was this infamous slave house in New Orleans, or Savannah, but I think it was New Orleans. And we did a tour in it, and then I would look it up in books later. It's talked about a fair amount because it's this horrific place where they would do these. It was a surgeon do amateur experiments on slaves, and one of them, I remember they dislocated the elbows and knees or surgically turned them around, so they had to crawl like a crab and kept them in a cage.
Oh no!
And then one of them escaped and burned the place down. Thankfully.
Oh my god!
Killed everyone in it. Just it's a mercy.
Yes.
They had an amateur sex change on one of them.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
how many people were doing this?
It was just this one house.
Yeah, but was it a household of 2? Was it
just 2.
Husband and a wife?
A madam and the surgeon.
Jesus Christ!
So I'm glad we ended
How
on
many people did they abduct?
Actually, I see. So there's one more relationship advice. I, 27 female, my husband, 67-year-old male, is a prominent surgeon in New Orleans, and he has a room he doesn't let anybody in. Sometimes I hear cages rattling and people screaming. The post is dated 1865. This has been a decent episode. We're getting back into it, but I just really wanted to do the Reddit stuff, and we're doing our intro, and we're going to be back to several episodes a week now because we have a consistent place to post, and we're back in really good shape. We look really attractive. So if you're interested in paying us, sleeping with us, massaging us, crawling around on all fours, walking the dogs, publishing my book, which at this point nobody is going to, and I'll probably have to delete the podcast once I get published.
We'll see about that. Let me talk to them.
You talk to them. You're my manager.
I have a suit.
Jacket. Yes, you're wearing yoga pants. We're not allowed to show. All right, I need to do this interview.
You should, because I can't teach yoga anymore for money. I need to teach it for Joey.
Yeah, because you love it so much. Okay. Oh, also she does teach yoga. You should catch our yoga classes.
But it's not those yoga classes where women don't wear underwear right under their leggings.
Not yet. But
it seems to be picking up as a thing.
DM us if you want to see either of us do that, because for the right price. Yeah, for the right price.
Okay, turn it off.
Hit me up.
Turn it off.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, Clete.